Hello again. It's not morning coffee with Tina. It's evening decaf with Tina. David made me a nighttime treat in, what is this mug? Some kind of mathy mug, I think, but let me look. The V or VI reference mug. Ooh, it tastes good though. So I have a decaf peppermint mocha that I'm having for dessert. But I wanted to get this up to you tonight because I had a little fun adventure today that I did not take video footage of. But I got to go out to PCC's sheep today. Remember the PCC project from ages ago? It's not coming back. I still have plenty of PCC fiber and yarn and dyed fiber left. However, there's new sheep at the PCC farm and a new farm caretaker who does her own shearing. And so I got to talk to her today, and I am telling you, impressive. And I wanted to give her a plug here because she, and I, for that matter, had a great discussion about offering classes through the PCC Extended Ed for things like fiber prep, shearing, dyeing, spinning fleece into yarn, washing your fleece. So a series of classes that we're hoping to get up by summer, so that summer and maybe fall, depending on the barn projects that she has facing her, but putting those classes together so that students, and I guess there have been plenty of students who wanted to take these classes, have the opportunity to learn those things. Now, yeah, I used to offer those classes at the shop. It wasn't nearly as prolific, but PCC does have its name in Extended Ed, so I get it. And I volunteered to work with her, so hopefully we can put that together in the next few months, work together on that. Some of the things that are new at PCC, and I'll put the pictures up here. So if you remember, our old PCC fleece were Romney Dorset Rambouillet Jacob Churro. This happens to be the Romney Dorset Rambouillet blend. Beautiful yarn. This was the DK we had spun up, and we still have a little of that left. This was my slow crawl. I'm getting it ready for you. This was my slow crawl project. Last summer, I think last summer, don't remember. Anyway, it's an orange shawl, fire. And then there was a version called Ice as well that was not out of the PCC, but out of a wool silk. But this is the fire version. It has cables, but really big cables that go down the edge and undulate. But this is out of the PCC Merino. This is also Romney Dorset Rambouillet. Right now, the sheep have been switched over, and I have little bits of fleeces. So in the period of time that I wasn't there, because of COVID, we had to stop, Border Leicester was the sheep that we had going on. And this is an example of the Border Leicester. Great little locks. Look at the crimp on those. This is some of the Border Leicester from the PCC sheep. And I'm going to have a little spin with this later and play with it. But I'm also taking this to my talk that I'll talk with you about later. And then this is off the Finn sheep. So Finn sheep are multicolored coats, so that if you potentially get yourself a Finn fleece, you can separate it into different colors and work with natural colors, you know, and make a variety of yarn shades that are of the same gauge, and then you can knit a sweater with color work. Finn sheep are pretty darn cool like that. Jacobs are the same. They're also multicolored fleeces that you can divide up and get different colors of yarn off a single sheep. The Finn sheep were super friendly, docile. They came up and talked to me, and I think I've got some video footage that I'll insert right here. And if I didn't get video footage, I will insert photos. So you can see them right up there. I'll put some little photos of the Finn sheep that I got to take a picture of. Currently, these Finn sheep are being bred with some merino sheep. And funnily enough, it's not because the farm manager wanted to have particularly that fiber, but because for the vet tech program, some of those lambs needed to have tails so that the vet tech students could learn how to dock tails. Therefore, the merino was the answer. Apparently, Finn sheep have short tails anyway, and they don't require docking. So there's some blending going on with merinos. It was interesting. The merino genetics was quite strong in some of those babies. You could definitely see merino mamas in there. And then she has a ram. She has a border Leicester ram, a fin ram, and a merino ram out in the field. And I couldn't get close enough, and it was pouring buckets, so we didn't get to go see those. But I guess the fin ram is too closely related to the mamas in the pens and the babies. So the fin has to go to work outside the farm. And then the other two guys, they are the daddies for the next generation. But it was a great visit. I had a really good time. It was really nice to see the new person at PCC and see how she's managing the farm. It's looking good out there. All the animals are there and then some. There was some cute pigs and some goats, and the horse that was there all along has always been there, and then a mule, I believe. Mule or a donkey? I think it's a mule. Oh, the alpaca and llamas are gone. Two of them got sold off, and then one of them just died. The llama died. But, and they don't know why. But, she said that, I asked her because Terry, the old farm manager, got those llamas and alpacas in to protect the lambs from the coyotes that would run under the solar panels. But the new farm manager brings them in every night and puts them into the barn. So they haven't had any trouble at all with the coyotes, which is awesome. What a concept, right? And oh, and then there's Black Angus. There used to be great big Hereford cows, but now there's Black Angus. So it was really nice to be back at the farm. Really nice to see that the program exists no matter what. And to hear about what's happening, because they're getting a new barn. So that's pretty cool, with a classroom, which is nice. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about my little adventure today. And I'll intersperse photos as we go along. And then talk about what's coming in December. So I am definitely, despite the fact that I don't have heat and I have a very frustrating home fix-it project in hand, I'll even give you a picture of the heater. The heaters that are my nemesis. We were supposed to have the guy come today. Guess who didn't show? And now put it off till Monday. Yeah, it's just like week in and week out. We cannot get any help. We're pariahs. It's bad. It's bad. I've had some crying sessions, as you might guess. But a spark of good is that we have a fireplace scheduled within the next week and a half to go in. The fireplace is sitting in our driveway. So it looks like we might have a go on that. Knock on wood that something horrible doesn't happen. I also have some runners to put in the staircase, and when I install those, I'll show you that footage. I laid some of the one, that's what I'm looking at right now. I laid one out in my hallway and discovered that I may have not measured correctly, so some cutting is going to be needed. I got to figure out what needs to be on the stairs first, and then I'll do that. But in prep for December and Advent December, I wanted to give you a little heads up because I am preparing for December, and I'm going to just show you a little sneak preview of what's coming. This is a hint. Candy cane. Candy cane. That's a hint as to what's coming. So let me turn this around and give you a little preview. There is your little preview. Candy cane, red and white yarn, and then underneath it, see that little hint of gray and green? That was my first concept project. Just testing out the idea. So, what do you think? You can probably tell from the ribbing that it's probably either a hat or a cowl. And honestly, it could be either one, and there might be both. But I am aiming for some candy cane. Let me know if you're interested in participating in this little project. As usual, like the Christmas pudding project, the pattern will be available free. However, I'll make some kits. I will do a limited edition run of kits, and you'll get one ball of each of the two colors. There's going to be an option of red and white and green and white. I suppose if you fall in love with the gray, you can say so, but it's really going to look nicer out of the two, either the red or the green with white. Let me know if you want red, green, and white, although that would be a little more difficult. It would be a ball of each. You're going to get a fancy fabric Christmas bag, and your yarn and your pattern. And as I calculated, it should be about $25 for your hat kit. So let me know if you're interested in that. I'd love to know ahead of time how many to buy, how many to prepare for you. So right now I can make 4 kits of each color without having to get any more yarn in and bags in. But if you want more than that, let me know, because I'll prepare for that. Hey, it's me again, in bed. I almost forgot to tell you, the reason that I went and talked to Avery at PCC was to sort of wrap up and conclude what's been going on with the PCC sheep during and post-COVID. I will be speaking at the Puddletown Knitters meeting for December and talk about our PCC project, bring in samples, bring in yarn, bring in the projects, show them the patterns, and then also talk about Avery, the new farm manager at PCC, and what's been happening to the flock. So I hope that if you're a Puddletown knitter, or if you're interested in becoming a Puddletown knitter in Portland, go look them up. I will put the link to the organization in the comments, in the info section below, as well as the PCC info, and links to all the patterns and all that good jazz below. And then also have a little moment of zen. I stopped by New Seasons last night, and the orange trees in the parking lot in the night with those lights shining on them was just spectacular. So after I say goodbye here in a minute, we're gonna follow it out with the trees. Yeah, so I'm leaning back in bed now because that's where this evening talk is happening. Yeah, so today was a pretty good day. I wasn't home. Always helps not to be home in the cold. But thank goodness, yesterday the rain came in. And so I think our temps went up by, I don't know, feels like 10 degrees. I don't know if it is 10 degrees, but it feels like it went up a lot. I know yesterday I felt good enough in my overalls, my merino sweater, and then a Norwegian sweater that I got back in May when I was in Norway, to wear it just outside, and I was plenty warm enough. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Hopefully your next video on Sunday will be rug on the stairs to protect our little feetsies on those stairs, and also help the dog who has a herniated disc and he has trouble going down the wooden stairs. So he's in bed with me right now in his coat. We always forget to take his coat off before we come upstairs. But yeah, that's it for me today. Hopefully you're having a good week. I'm having a moderately good week despite the fact that we have no heat. Well, we have heat. We just don't have good heat. But the fireplace is coming. That's going to be awesome. I will definitely show you some videos of the fireplace when it gets in. It's going to be cool. I don't get to put the surround up yet, but at least we'll have fire and wood. And actually, when I leave you here, I'm going to buy some firewood and get it delivered to my house, so I am ready when I have the fireplace. But if you like this channel, you know, subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if it's been helpful. Definitely leave a comment if you're at all interested in the candy cane hat and cowl. And I will see you on Sunday. Bye.